Welcome to our presentation and software demonstrations while we introduce our visionary management tool for the first time. By the end of the presentation, we hope to receive feedback and encouragement that will help us further invest in these ideas. Introducing Timebars, a web-based management system for organizations. The agenda for today is to discuss what is Timebars and who we are, our strategic objective, expected user base, main benefits of the tool, and what business processes can it be used for. And we're also going to have multiple demonstrations. We are Timebars Limited, owned and operated by Jim Cox, a project control specialist. Timebars is a browser-based set of dynamic web pages with a rules engine designed to automate and simplify usability gaps that exist in other management tools and systems. Timebars and Timebar Kanban, TB Kanban, are minimum viable products ready for the market for the first time. Now, our first strategic objective was to be able to perform business processes that meet rules from data in Excel spreadsheets and send the data back to Excel. This is a look at our web page that is Timebars. We have a time scale across the top, a simple set of menu items to help use the tool. And the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in data from Excel by dragging and dropping. Perform a backup first. And that's how easy it was to bring in a portfolio with a program, some tasks associated to it, and some resource assignments. Now I'm going to add some user stories that I had in Excel. Form another backup. Always back up your data. Now I brought in these user stories, and I want to associate this project container with this project. We can see that it's associated now, and there's the metadata associated with that subproject. And I want to go and manage these user stories in this sprint container using the Kanban format. And we can see we have our Kanban time boxes, which we can move around into the will do and so on. And we can go to reporting and look at a schedule report and export that back to Excel. Our second major strategic objective is to have all planned and in-flight projects live on a touchscreen so we can synchronize and prioritize them. Sequence them and prioritize them. Now here is a view of an enterprise system where all the projects are in a portfolio and listed here with a Gantt chart, but it's a non-dynamic Gantt chart and it's one row per line. I want to solve the problem of being able to schedule these projects while all visible on a screen so you can see and work with the data in a much easier fashion. Plus, the changes that you make will get published back to the enterprise system. So the Timebars is integrated in to this particular system, and the export has been done already, and here is the same structure. Each of these green areas is a portfolio of projects, and you can see that these are all interconnected. So now if I want to start planning and sequencing my projects on one giant screen, I can. Now if I had an 80-inch screen, I would probably have this, where I could see all my projects on a screen. I've zoomed back in for now. Now I'm going to show the menu, and let's say I want to manage and sequence activities in my business support systems portfolio. Here I can now schedule my projects. Our third objective is for the initiative planning process, to fill those gaps, to make it clear and easy to determine and communicate the investment value at the right level of detail. Let's look at the core product delivery portfolio. This information was synchronized with the enterprise system and is now stored inside of Timebars, the rules engine. So if I want to look at the details of my projects, I can see that I have this proposal document form that's linked to the project data. So you can see very quickly what information has been entered in to the form as investment information. Now, as a manager of this portfolio, I have to sequence and prioritize which work we're going to do first. And since I can see them all on the screen at one time, I can start to look and see what the relationships are between projects. For example, I have to have the automate selection system done before I can even start to upgrade the WWR system. So I can make a decision now to move this project out into this time frame. And Google Maps information project can't start until this project is done. So I'm just going to move Google Maps integration out here because it's actually a lower priority for me. And I need to do this database upgrade project right away. That I know. And then I'm going to do this project here. One of our major objectives is to synchronize enterprise systems based on modern technologies. So I'm going to demonstrate that. Back at Timebars, I'm going to go to the admin panel and perform a PWA sync. Check for new projects. You have all these projects in project server. Import now. Go Timebars. There they are. Fresh import from the enterprise system. And now I can begin sequencing and prioritizing them. I can set start and finish dates, and then send these dates back to the enterprise system. Admin PWA sync and project portfolio scheduling. Publish the project start and finish dates to PWA. So I can do all of them in one shot, or I can enter, say, BU and just publish the dates for my 4 building service portfolio projects. And if I go back to the enterprise tool, we can see that the data is being published and projects are being checked in, the dates are being changed. Strategic objectives continued. We wanted to build it for the modern web browser, not for Internet Explorer of the past, but of the modern web browsers such as Google, Apple, Firefox, and others. We want to utilize HTML5, IndexedDB, JSON, JavaScript, REST, open source, all the technologies of today. We want it to work on large touchscreen displays with motorized stands. The bigger the better. Large HD desktop monitors such as mine. I got a 28-inch desktop monitor. I can finally use all that real estate. We want it to work on a tablet, especially an iPad, and actually works very well on the iPad. We want it to work on Chromebooks as well and laptops. Our target user base. We want it to be so simple that even people who don't have a lot of time would use this tool and the scheduling engine and rules engine to help them out. People such as directors and departmental managers. They don't have time to work with tools like Project Professional or Enterprise Systems. But this tool, since it integrates with Excel, I'm certain that departmental managers will really find this tool handy. Supervisors, team leads, portfolio managers, as I demonstrated, project managers might even use this tool. I mean, it's not a replacement for Project Professional or Primavera, but it's a tool that could help you do some small projects. Now, I think agile development teams, and such as Scrum and Kanban teams, would love this tool, since it's integrated with the enterprise system. One of the gaps today out there is the enterprise systems today don't allow for Scrum and Kanban work type. So this tool could provide that gap and get the data back into the enterprise system. PMOs could use it to set the policies for the organization, or anyone who just needs an efficient way to manage work. Now, the main benefits: simple to use, a visionary user experience for managers. Drag and drop, hover, double click is pervasive. Even the data exchange with Excel is just a drag and drop. It's specifically designed to improve productivity on the latest form factors of all sizes. No manual entry of data. Uses data from Excel, which in turn may come from an enterprise system in the first place, or your own Excel marts. People have Excel marts all over the place. Data is not stored in the cloud. This is a main benefit for people that are afraid of having their proprietary data stored in the cloud. Timebars is delivered to you via the cloud or via your own network, but the data is not stored in the cloud. It's stored in the browser and in Excel. No training is needed to produce clever results to suit the most unusual management scenarios. It eliminates the need for complex Excel programming. Other benefits: you can, if you're a Google Suite user, Timebars will work in Google Suite. We also have an interface to SharePoint lists, on-premise or in the cloud, and we could build an interface to go direct and store direct into the data warehouse. or pull from the data warehouse. And we can install Timebars in SharePoint site already today in the Project Web App site, as we saw. And we have the interface to the SharePoint lists. Now, some of the processes that we think organizations can use this tool for is resource management. Create your tasks, assign the resources, drag them around the screen, check the demand. Just a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. We can click the creator and we can click create a project and create some tasks in the project. And we could also import them from Excel if you don't want to do this dragging and dropping. And then we can assign resources. I have my team of people. I want to assign Julia to this task and Jack to this task. And click Show All. Show the allocations. And there's my resource. I could put 2 people on the same task. And there's my other resource. Now if I could make some real estate here, I can overlap my resources. I can see the hours. And this task here is 100% complete because I'm working in the past. But if I drag that into the future, it's going to set its finish date into the future and readjust the hours automatically. So it's fantastic for just allocating people on your team, and then click the demand button and find out the resource demand. Project initiation and selection management. An example is we've created this project and we want to enter in the proposal information, and then we want to go over here and enter the gates information. So we might want to determine that this is a medium risk project, and then we can start defining our gates. Add a gate. And these are, and we can also go in and start doing our workflow. We can set our workflow state as a requested approval, and so on. The next gate might be business readiness, and we might have an order of magnitude estimate. So we want to provide this information out to the organization when we initiate these projects, and then we publish it back to the enterprise system. So I'm not going to have any more demonstrations. I just want to discuss the resource management processes. So you start off in Excel with your current list that you have today. You drag and drop them into Timebars. Assign your people, set the percent allocated, percent of time approved to work on the projects. So you, as a resource manager, you will know that you're going to assign Joe to a certain project at 25% of his time. You want to get a handle on the demand. This is important for a resource manager. A lot of these enterprise systems today are too detailed, hundreds and thousands of tasks in there, and you can't really get a handle on your own team's demand. So if you're doing this in Excel already, why not use Timebars to help you? Quickly find out if your people are over allocated before they find out the hard way. I don't know how many times I've been assigned too much work by my manager. The manager should know. Send results back to Excel for further analysis. Another process, project initiation and selection management. So here's what we propose. Provide your team with a simple method to initiate new initiatives. So the PMO may want to do that. Set that up, set Timebars up. The person initiating the project doesn't know a lot about project initiation typically. They don't initiate them every day. So the tool is going to have flexible phases, stages, and gates to choose from. And they can choose what they feel their size, risk, complexity is. But we still want to have business compliance instructions. We want to remove the guesswork on how to move initiatives through the process. These enterprise systems are very complex today. We want to try to smooth this process out. We want to visualize dependencies between initiatives to help in the selection process. Project portfolio schedule management. Well, we looked at that in the demo. We want to check the status and health of in-flight work, review the ROI, net present value, and other selection criteria, then drag them and to sequence them. Tap the screen to kill projects or change priority. Publish new dates and metadata to the enterprise system, or export to Excel for further analysis. Project schedule management. Simplify project scheduling where there's no training needed. If you need a Gantt chart of 100 tasks, why not use Timebars and eliminate the bulky Gantt charts such as Project Professional and other tools. Drag Timebars to set progress based on the status date. So you have your status date set, you drag the Timebar into the past, it'll progress it for you and set the hours based on the allocations and the duration. Eliminate the confusing fixed units, fixed duration paradigm that these more complex enterprise tools have. There's no need for that when you're using Timebars. Publish your changes back to the enterprise system or to a data warehouse. Agile Kanban. We had demonstrations of this. We flipped between time-scaled Timebars and the time boxes. So this tool allows you to use either or both. We can use it as a backlog. You import from Excel. Your Excel is usually where the backlogs are, or actually they're in the enterprise ticketing system or other enterprise system, and you can export them and put them in Excel, or just go direct to Timebars with a CSV file. Publish to SharePoint lists, and flip the Kanban boxes back and forth. Agile Scrum. Many people are still using Excel to manage their sprints. Keep doing that, but use Timebars to speed up the scheduling and the updating process. Import projects from the enterprise system again, and perform sprint planning, estimating, and progress updating. And that concludes our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it.